place. Unbelievable. I'll follow your lead. Clearly, you know what to do around here. Just look at this place. So many questions come to mind. I don't even know where to start.
Returning your call.
What in the... Who in the... Whoa. Hello, handsome. He's Barrett. I'm Barrett. Other than that mind-bending fact, there's really not that much to it. Hello there. I'm Barrett. You got to be joking. Nope. Okay. Skipping the initial shock of it all. Agreed. Not worth it. Forming a hypothesis. You know, my captain asked the same thing. Different captain, though, so you aren't an exact facsimile. From my readings, you don't have your appendix, and you're 1/4 of a centimeter taller than me. Minor differences, but fascinating. I wonder what else is different. That doesn't make sense. Cloning is a complicated procedure involving a lot of complex science. This was... a whole lot weirder. That's one way to put it. Molecular binary schism? Temporal twinning? Group hallucination? Don't forget the fluctuations in the energy patterns, which align almost deterministically. Harmonized vibrations distorting some mechanical barrier between neighboring universes? Impossible to know with such a minute subset of readings. We need more data. Obviously. I'll be Barrett Prime. Amundsen is fine. Usually the barrier between us is too thick to communicate much anyway. Amundsen? Now I know you're not me. Hey, one of us has to keep it classy. Why stop at 2? It won't work. The energy required increases exponentially per anomaly. I'm already exhausted. In a way that's hard to describe. Not physically or mentally, but something else. Sorry, friend. You'll feel right as rain when I dissipate. Whoa there. Sustaining this connection requires a lot of concentration. Is this permanent? You will eventually monitor the energy fluctuations and agree. But no, this is unusual. I could study this forever. Irvin told me to just enjoy it and collect data on the side for later. And I'm glad I did. Irvin? He's with you. He's... okay? By the tone of your voice, I'm gathering some things in our lives might be a bit different. Is he happy? Yes, he is. Our daughter pilots the ship after Vasco was destroyed. But otherwise, we've survived the war well. Amazing. Sounds like you don't have a daughter here, I take it. No, we talked about it, but no. We named her after Aja, my mentor. She died in the crossfire between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective decades ago. For me, Irvin died instead of Aja in that crossfire. She's best friends with Cora, and she's smart as hell. Of course she is. Going on 20 years now. But we're starting to turn the tide. Imagine all of the variations. It's endless. Oh, man. I only hope the new one we're building is just as salty as the last one. My husband, he passed 20 years ago. It's been so long. The horror of the infinite is the inclusion of the unimaginable. I promise. He's happy. We're happy. I have so many questions. I wonder how many paths I've taken, we've taken, how many variations, how many ended with heartache and how many with joy. I think about that all the time. Wait, what's that noise? Starborn ship. No idea. This isn't how the power works for me. I've never had a conversation with myself before. You pretty much know everything I do now anyway. More than I ever hoped for. What happens for any of us? I don't think it works that way, though. Maybe I'm just a construct or a memory. I don't know. But I don't feel pain. Good to know. We can handle this. On it. Hey, Captain. Can I talk with you for a bit? Something happened. I can't hold on to you. I'm struggling. Being pulled through the barrier. This is probably it, friends. Amundsen, cherish every moment with them.
I already do, my friend. I promise.
So look, for the record, I am the same Barrett that came here with you. For sure. I think. Is the ship my secret lair, then? I guess? I would have preferred something with more seating, and maybe a fireplace. Something cozy. Oh well. Hey, at least I didn't pull an army of knees out of thin air, right? Imagine that. Besides, it is a bit exhausting to sustain just one extra me. Anyway, it's a relief, you know. I have this ability, this power, and I'm still just me. Just regular Barrett. And I already feel like it's subsiding. I no longer feel like I'm in a huge crowd. Yes, though it takes a lot of concentration. If I do it a lot, I bet I'd give myself a headache. From myself. I'm my own migraine. I thought so too. Other me, other Barrett, seemed like he was able to handle himself well in that fight. Anyway, we'll see. If the other me gets in the way, I can just release him, or stop using the power entirely. For now, I just need to use this power a bit and digest what all has happened. Sure, but give me some time. I want to use it a bit more, see what its limits are. I just need some time with it. That's pretty exhausting, really. So I might only do it when I feel like we could use backup. For now, anyway. A while ago, you helped me out when I was captured by the Crimson Fleet. And I just wanted to say thanks for having my back. You know, that Crimson Fleet pirate who held me captive for a bit a while ago. I just appreciated how you rescued me, that's all. Well, it left a lasting impression on me, I suppose. So many things can go wrong out there. Working with people you can trust is important. That's why I've been in Constellation so long. It's good to have people who will help out when you're in a jam. Exactly as often as I need to. Jams are just sticky successes, right? At first it seems annoying, but it eventually washes off. That's smart. Trust in things that are capable of trusting you. Well, fair enough. Seems kind of lonely, but you're less vulnerable. Safer. That's not my style, but I can respect it. We have all sorts of folks in Constellation after all. Speaking of which, Constellation has its ups and downs. It can be hard. Trust me, I know. When times are tough, sometimes it's important to reflect on our accomplishments. What you're doing here with us is remarkable, truly. Constellation is brighter because of you. Neither do I. Yet I muster forth. You know, being a member of Constellation has given me a lot of opportunities, and a fair bit of stress, I'll admit. It's hard to imagine just who I'd be had I never joined up. I would have never done so many things, met so many people. It's mind-boggling how different I would be. And I never would have met Irvin. Or lost him, I suppose. Statistically, that's certainly accurate, but it's not that much of a comfort. Irvin's been gone for over 20 years. Strange how memories can pop up when you least expect it. Yeah, don't worry. I've ignored my feelings. I'm just fortunate. I mean, where else? On that note,
Engine spin-up time almost complete. Total time 5 minutes 22 seconds. Right on schedule.
How are the helium-3 valves holding?
There's
Nova?
that little
We'll
sad
double-check
dot.
the leakage concerns this morning before the launch. All signs green.
Calculation sequence from Volterra?
No changes since we uploaded the last figures yesterday. It's a clean shot from here to Jupiter.
One day the computer will be on board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
One miracle of science at a time, Canaveral. Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Canaveral, are you reading?
All clear, Nova. Indicators look good. The ship should be cruising Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation will be possible in 32 minutes. Afraid the speed of light is on the slow side these days.
How does it feel to break the laws of physics, Canaveral?
We're all pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell me where you got the original data?
Not in a million years, Nova.
operation area. I can't imagine how tense and chaotic it must have been.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. The recent delivery from Mars is unsettling. I was expecting rock samples or maybe fossils of microbial life. Instead, Dr. Victor Isa comes with 2 members of the military. Everything they brought back is under wraps. What could a theoretical physicist need with a sample from Mars? Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. I've been trying to cozy up to Dr. Isa, Victor, to see what is going on. His team has completely commandeered one of the labs with those 2 military handlers, checking who comes in and out. I joked that maybe he found a little gray man who was doing an autopsy, and he grew very pale. 2 days later, he sends me a request asking for more information on my background in materials science, metallurgical engineering. We have a meeting tomorrow. I think I'm being invited into the lab. Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then, I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window.
I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects, no motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
bet that. Vasco definitely takes after this side of the family.
Project log. Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore, but further work is going to have to take place in space. Somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner. Someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far side of the solar system closer to us, it's all going to be possible.
Project log. Dr. Judith Tatian. I watched the gravjet tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives, expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all these side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
The artifact isn't far now. But look at all this stuff. Simply astounding. Well, they don't need it now.
I never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the grav drive projects. Seems like ancient history now. Only thing thing we're doing these days is launching weather satellites.
Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Demeter, you want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
I know what I'm seeing, Victor. The data coming back from the satellites is very clear. It's the grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time, I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
A terrible but inevitable disaster? The grav drives? How did we not realize?
What you found. And it looks like other Starborn got here before us.